Want to do a little Patriots real quick?
Yes, very much. I'm glad you're going down this road.
Camp starts a week from tomorrow.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Okay, so I heard this Florio cut over the weekend, and you know what? I find myself falling into this trap too, and I think it's a mistake. And you hear what he's saying there, Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. He says there's some teams that are just weighed down by their history. That the Bills, so it's not just Josh Allen and Sean McDermott trying to overcome Mahomes and the Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore. We're fighting history and Bruce Smith and Scott Norwood and 4 straight Super Bowls, and it's that history. So you fight that as a Toronto Maple Leaf, and you used to fight that as a Boston Red Sox, and you fight that as a Buffalo Bill. And he says there's teams in the NFL that suffer from that.
Lead in the uniform. It's a heavy uni.
Okay. Do you believe in that?
Yeah.
Do you believe in
We've seen it here, yeah.
Do you believe in a light uni? And are the Patriots a light uni team?
They might be a light uni franchise now, but I will say that from where they've come in the most recent years, it's not as light as everyone thinks it is.
I just wonder if it's a mistake or if it's real. Because it's a really intangible sort of goofy thing to talk about.
It is.
Because why would, what does Austin Matthews and the 2024 Toronto Maple Leafs have to do with Harold Fenefesi in 1972?
Doesn't.
Nothing. But we all believe it. Does the inverse exist? And so I sort of fall play it's just sort of, the winning was recent enough, and it was so long and so over the top that I think there's just a little kernel in everybody that says, "Oh, they'll figure it out. They're the Patriots.
We can get it back."
Yeah,
people think that way.
And when they're there, it's like now that they're there, watch out because it's just in their DNA. I think that's probably a mistake, but I'd be lying if I say I don't feel it too.
Okay, so I think it is a mistake in general, but I will tell you, I don't think it's the franchise per se. I think it's Vrabel. And Vrabel's connection to that era, maybe.
So that's what he said, connective tissue.
Yeah, so I think to me, because again, I wasn't thinking that way when Mayo was here. Yeah. So I think it's got more to do with Vrabel. And when I say I'm glad that you brought this up, have you sensed, as we've gotten closer to camp here, particularly in the last couple of weeks, how many people are buying on the Patriots? Everywhere. Everybody's buying into the Patriots.
Don't you think that's part of it?
Well, it is part of it, but I also think it's reached a point where so many people are buying in, it's gotten a little out of control.
Certainly.
Get to the playoffs and win the play. Whoa, slow down, hold on. And when I say get to the playoffs, people are talking about them like they're going to go 12-5. And I'm not there. I'm not there yet. Do I think they're going to be better? Yeah, but I think they have to build up to that. So, do I think there's an outside shot they could make it at 9-8? Yeah, sure. That could happen. But, the way people are talking now is, the Pats are my dark horse. I'm not there yet. I think it's possible they will be a respectable, functional, competitive organization in 2025. But the way people are talking is they're going to be in the Super Bowl in 2 years.
Jimmy Stewart, did you scoff on the air in the middle of that comment?
I didn't mean to. I just happened to hit my mic button by accident.
Why are you scoffing?
Because they're becoming the trendy pick nationally now. They have a quarterback who won one game last year. He went 1-9, who might have some upside, and it's they're going to be the big bully in the playoffs. What are you watching, Mike Florio? You're better than that. You're more cynical and critical of that because you like Vrabel. All of a sudden they're going to turn around and be a playoff team. Get out of here with that pick.
See, I think that's what it is. I think Jimmy's onto something, though. People think Vrabel's a good coach. They respect him as a coach. They also like him. And so I think that is filtering in. And, Mike, they still have a talent shortage. That hasn't gone away.
They're not very talented, but their schedule's easy and Vrabel's good.
Yes.
But don't you remember they were one of the suck teams last year?
Yep.
So they have a bad schedule, but they're a bad team. They at least were last year.
I mean, I'm not going. Look, I think it's going to be a significant step in the right direction. But the way some people are talking now, someone said something like 13 wins the other day, and I heard. And I went, what? 13?
Is that guy on drugs, Mazz?
Probably.
Dondero.
The best case scenario for the Patriots this year would be a 9-8, just over 500 season. You get to the playoffs and you look like you belong. You're not going on a playoff run. I don't think they're ready for that. Drake May hasn't won anything. I expect him to play a lot better. this is the key. Do the draft picks hit? Because you're talking about the talent shortage. If all of a sudden they get two big-time playmakers out of this draft, if Henderson and Williams are playmakers and impact this year's team, that's a different ballgame because you've improved a lot of different areas. If the coach, the offensive coordinator come in and do what they're expected to do, you could do some different things. But a playoff, like a run, Florida was talking about a run. They're not going to go on a run.
Oh, they're going to be the big bully in the playoffs.
They're not going to do that. There's no way. No chance of that. You're lucky if they get to the playoffs and look like they belong and they have a tough loss or something. I think that's the best case scenario.
I'm still worried about the O-line. I don't know if short arms can play left tackle. And then again, they got some guy at center, Bradbury. I don't even know his first name.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, but Bradbury, who got cut by the Vikings.
Correct.
So, basically, I sort of know if their line's any good. And Cole Strange right now is potentially the left guard.
I think there's still, so back to the Florio comment to begin with. Just that he's going on uniform. Well, and Vrabel's part of it. But I think it's really more uniform. Their uniform, the logo. You see them walk out, and the winning's been, it hasn't been that long since they were that team, and you just see the uniform and you go, uh-oh. Like, I still feel that way about the Canadians, even though I shouldn't.
But the league doesn't feel that way, Mike, based on the fact that the Patriots have, 2 home game wins the last 2 years? That's a bad sign.
You shaking your head, Dundero?
Well, I just think you have to have the continuity for that to come into play. Like the Ravens, you could buy into that uniform thing because Harbaugh's been there forever. Or maybe the Steelers, even though they're mid. If they've had so much change with the Patriots, that's out the way. That's gone.
See, I don't feel that way about the Ravens or the Steelers. The Steelers' high-end winning was too long ago. Patriots are still, it's 5 years ago.
But I'm a little surprised at you.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you, Mike.
Because if that uniform, any magic that uniform has in it was disappeared when Tom Brady took it off.
Yeah, I know.
So that is so I think it's mostly a Brady thing. And the last couple of years, I kind of think they sort of deteriorate into losers, and they now have to rebuild all of that. So, and frankly, I feel the same, not to cross sports, I feel the same way about the Red Sox. They let it slip so much that they now have to build the whole thing all over again.
And Core was here when they won. That's even worse.
Okay, well, there's a Patriots thought for you anyway.